Supreme Court Weekly, July 13 to 17, 2020. The list of cases reported in this week. Arjun Pandit Rao Godkar versus Kailas Kushan Rao Gurandhyal dated 14/7/2020. Second one, National Highways Authority of India versus Aam Aadmi Lokmanch dated 14/7/2020. Third one, Pyarelal versus State of Haryana dated 17/7/2020. Fourth one, Rajiv Gandhi Memorial College of Engineering and Technology versus State of Andhra Pradesh dated 14/7/2020. Fifth one, Sri Martanda Varma versus State of Kerala dated 13/7/2020. Sixth one, Ultratech Cement versus State of Rajasthan dated 17/7/2020. Seventh one, V. Kalyanaswamy versus L. Bhaktavasalam dated 17/7/2020. Let us now move on to the details of the first case. Arjun Pandit Rao Godkar versus Kailas Kushan Rao Gurandhyal. The judgment was delivered by Honorable Justice R.F. Nariman. The bench reiterated that the certificate required under Section 65(b)(4) is a condition precedent to the admissibility of evidence by way of electronic record. Oral evidence in the place of such certificate cannot possibly suffice, as Section 65(b)(4) is a mandatory requirement of the law. Indeed, hallowed principle in Taylor versus Taylor, which has been followed in a number of the judgment of this court, can also be applied. Section 65(b)(4) of the Evidence Act clearly states that secondary evidence is admissible only if lead in the manner stated and not otherwise. To hold otherwise would render Section 55(b)(4) close. Let us now go into the details of the second case, National Highways Authority of India versus Aam Aadmi Lokmanch. The judgment was delivered by Honorable Justice S. Devendra Bhatt. There are four issues arise for consideration in this case. Firstly, the jurisdiction of the National Green Tribunal to award compensation. Secondly, the merits and soundness of the National Green Tribunal's decision to award compensation and the legal principles applicable. Thirdly, the National Green Tribunal's wide directions with respect to the ban on construction in and around foothills. And lastly, the wires of the directions or notifications issued under Section 154 of Maharashtra Regional and Town Planning Act 1966. Let us now go into the details of the third case, Pyarelal versus State of Haryana. The order was delivered by Justice Dei Umesh Lalit. The Supreme Court directed the Registry to place the matter before the Honorable Chief Justice for constituting a bench of appropriate strength to consider the issues raised in the present matter. The questions for consideration are under whether, in exercise of power conferred under Article 161 of the Constitution, a policy can be framed whereunder certain norms or postulates are laid down, on the satisfaction of which the benefit of the remission can thereafter be granted by the executive without placing the facts or material with respect to any of the cases before the governor, and whether such exercise can override the requirements under Section 433A of the Code. Let us now go into the details of the fourth case, Rajiv Gandhi Memorial College of Engineering and Technology versus the State of Andhra Pradesh. The judgment was delivered by Honorable Justice R.F. Nariman. The bench held that the interim fee fixed by the Andhra Pradesh government without following the drill of Rule 4 has correctly been found to be prima facie illegal and has therefore correctly been suspended by the learned single judge's order of 31/7/2019. The division bench ought not to have interfered with the aforesaid order by the impugned order dated 8/8/2019. The appeals are allowed and the impugned order is set aside, and the learned single judge's order will now continue to operate insofar as the period of 2019 onwards is concerned until a final fee is fixed in accordance with the requisite Act and rules. Let us now go into the details of the fifth case, Sri Martanda Varma versus State of Kerala. The bench ordered that the administrative committee and the advisory committee shall do well to discharge all their functions, including performance of the worship of the deity, maintenance of its properties diligently and in the best interest of the temple, and provide adequate and requisite facilities to the worshippers, and more particularly A. Preserve all treasures and properties endowed to Sri Padmanabha Swami and those belonging to the temple, protect all tenanted properties and take appropriate measures to ensure reasonable returns from such tenanted properties. C. Ensure that all rituals and religious practices are performed in accordance with the instructions and guidance of the chief Tantri of the temple and according to custom and traditions. In temporal matters, the committees shall be guided by the advice given by the chief Tantri. The designation of the chief Tantri shall be done in accordance with the customs and traditions. Next, we go into the details of the sixth case, Ultratech Cement versus State of Rajasthan. The judgment was delivered by the Honorable Justice Dinesh Maheshwari. This appeal is directed against the judgment and order dated 11/1/2019, passed in DB Civil Writ Petition number 1990 of 2018, whereby the High Court of Judicature of Rajasthan, bench at Jaipur, dismissed the writ petition filed by the appellants while upholding the order of revision dated 12/3/2018 as passed by the Additional Chief Secretary Finance Government of Rajasthan, Jaipur, in revision proceedings under Clause 13 of the Rajasthan Investment Promotion Scheme 2003. Let us move on to the last case in the list, the Kalyanaswamy versus Bhaktavatsala. The judgment was delivered by Honorable Justice K.M. Joseph. The bench observed that Order 2 of the CPC postulates a situation where a plaintiff omits to sue in respect of any portion of his claim or intentionally relinquish any portion of his claim. Then he is debarred from suing in respect of the portion so omitted or relinquished. A plaintiff entitled to more than one relief arising from the same cause of action can do two things. He may sue in respect of all the reliefs arising from the same cause of action in the same suit. He may, if he omits to sue for one or more of the reliefs open to him under the same cause of action, seek leave of the court to sue for all such reliefs, and if the court grants such leave, then he may institute a suit, though based on the same cause of action in the earlier suit, in a fresh suit. Thanks for watching this video. Log on to www.caselaw.in for more details.